Greetings, knowledge seekers. I'm Prion Joni, and the force is with you. In this video, we're going to talk about drumming. No, not that kind of drumming. I'm talking about turntable drumming. So let's get right into it, but first, let's get some tracks from Direct Music Service. DMS is an online database where DJs can get their music from. There's thousands of unique edits, remixes, and originals that you can choose from of your favorite tracks that you can use to rock your next dance floor. They also have an app that you can use on your mobile device where you can browse their database and then save songs so that it appears on your Dropbox when you get home. I'm going to leave you 2 discount links down below in the pinned comment if you want to subscribe. Go to directmusicservice.com today to sign up. Turntable drumming is a technique of taking a kick and a snare on a track that are close together and applying scratch techniques to create your own beat. For the most part, you're letting the kicks and the snares play out rhythmically like a drummer would. The scratch techniques often used is mostly a forward scratch with some transformers, chirps, and stabs. The techniques are simple, but the challenge comes from the endurance it takes to maintain a tempo and the precision it takes to hit the kicks and the snares over time. While it is called turntable drumming, you can use any DJ device with a platter or a jog wheel to execute it. In fact, I think it's way more challenging to do on a stationary jog wheel, so respect to you if you can pull it off. You can use turntable drumming as a way to create a scratch solo that has a full beat of a sound, or you can use turntable drumming as a way to create a backbeat that your crew can rap to. So the way I broke it down is that there are 3 levels of turntable drumming we're going to talk about today. Let's start with a simple one. In the following clip, we have DJ Jazzy Jeff midway into his Rock the Bells routine.
Let's go, Jeff! Break it down, Jeff!
If you notice, he is scratching a portion of Rock the Bells where the guitar stab is followed by an 808 snare. It's right here. It's a stab or a kick followed by a snare, and they're a 16th note apart. Now it's very important to be a 16th note apart because anything farther, you won't be close enough to be able to drum. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing 2 kicks or 2 stabs. And then during the second stab, we're going to let it play as far as the snare. So stab, stab, snare, stab, 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 snare. Now, once you practice that, you can add some sounds, some scratches as you're going back. So how do we drum to different music? Well, basically, you just look for a part of the song where a kick follows a snare at a 16th note interval. And if you listen, you'll find these everywhere. So we got this beat right here. And there's the kick snare. And a fancy thing you can do is you can add the stab in there to kind of give it some variations. All right, so next, a slightly more challenging technique is instead of kick to snare, like in the Rock the Bells example, which was actually a stab, there is snare to kick. The following clip is Mixmaster Mike performing the backing track to 3 MCs and 1 DJ with the Beastie Boys. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because of copyright, but we'll leave a link above if you want to watch the whole performance. The sample he was using was an acoustic drum where a snare is followed by a kick, a 16th note interval apart. So we got the kick, and the snare is before it. And you start with the kick, but you pull back for the snare. So the fundamentals to it is still forward scratches. And to do it fast, it goes. The cool thing he did with this routine is not just the drumming, but also he added a stab sound and the vocal sounds to scratch apart as part of his fills. The unique thing about the snare kick is that there's this little fill you can do by pulling the snare on the downbeat, followed by the upbeat. I actually apply this to my very own Let Me Clear My Throat routine. So there's this part, and there's this snare kick. So you can do that little break there. All right, that one hurt right here. Now, lastly, I wanted to show you DJ Qbert's drumming technique from a session he did in Paris years ago. Now, I'm not capable of demonstrating any of these, but he basically took the drumming techniques and added these clean syncopations and gave the beat more rhythm. The following clip is a kick snare, but with all sorts of scratch techniques filling the open spaces. And on this next one, he basically goes from a slow kick snare, and then he double times it into an almost drum and bass style of beat. While my ears can't really identify every single move he's doing, he's using the sounds between the kick and the snare to fill the open spaces. It's almost like the cue burns now serve as a noise that he can use as a hi-hat to his beat. If you didn't know, cue burns are basically the noise that develops when you start wearing down the groove on a real record. Qbert. I wonder if that's what inspired the name. Anyways, this is just a basic breakdown of turntable drumming. When you're ready to practice it, start slow, start simple, slowly add complexities to it only after you've mastered your basic rhythm. It's not a race, it's a marathon. By the way, Jazzy Jeff has an entire course on digital DJ tips where he breaks down his entire approach to DJing. I'll leave that in a link down below along with product links to everything we used in this video. Also, check out this video if you want to learn how to apply Jazzy Jeff's Peter Piper routine techniques to other music. And check out this video if you want to see me fly the Millennium Falcon. Really appreciate you for watching. May you find the knowledge you seek and the force be with you always.